Good evening, knife junkies. It's Thursday Night Knives. Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm your host, Bob DeMarco. Tonight, two new knives from Dylan Mallory. We're going to take a look at my state of the collection with a couple of new knives, one from Arcane Design. We have a knife fight, Hawkbill versus Persian. You see the contrast I'm drawing on there. But first and foremost tonight, Gentleman Junkie giveaway. Benjamin, good to have you here, sir. Benjamin with the Killer 15 collection, among many other things. Hey, Michael, great to have you here. Happy Thursday Night Knives. Mark Herrera, great to have you here. It's Quack, how you doing? It's good to have you here. Wolf Scout, evening, sir. G-Man. Everyone's doing great because it's Thursday Night Knives. Caleb, how you doing? Howdy, howdy. Caleb has a nice collection from what I've gleaned from his Instagram. Timothy, how's it going, sir? Incognito Griffin, sup yourself, sir. Hey, Dave, good to have you here. Mr. D, I'm looking forward to seeing what you put in that box, sir. First and foremost, tonight we have the Gentleman Junkie giveaway. And what are we giving away tonight? I will show you after this pocket check. We have Penny. How's it going? Penny Ripple. It's good to have you here. Let me show you. Sup, Cody. Sup, indeed. It's an addiction. It is indeed. Hello, sir. Let me show you what I was carrying today on this fine day, this Thursday. Patty from across the shock. How's it going, sir? Great to have you here, as always. This was what I was carrying today. It is the Cold Steel AD-15. You know it. You all know it. So it's the production version of oh man, I'm having senior moments. Andrew Demko, his custom AD-15. They made some changes here, but a very, very high fidelity reproduction from what I've heard and from what Andrew Demko has said. Can you put up eggs and ham comment for a second there, Jim? Sorry, I didn't see what he said there. Yep. So this is what I was. Hello, everyone. Finishing up a forum post, but for school, but listening. Sorry if I didn't respond. Individual hellos. Eggs and ham. Great to have you here. Nose to the grindstone, sir. Black multicam already, sir. Thank you, man. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. And as always, looking dapper, sir. So this was in my front right pocket, chewing it up, but it was already a chewed up pocket. I was teleworking today. John Evans, good evening, sir. And he says a good evening to everyone. I like that picture in the car. I do like reviews from the car, like Joe, the Knife Whisperer, likes to do. Steel Ovan, nice to have you here. Other Knife, did a little bit of modding on Rocksoft. Great to have you here. So my other carry today was an in the waistband fixed blade, and it was my Rapid Strike. And as you know, I took the butt end off of my Rapid Strike. I took the pyramidally shaped glass breaker off because it was harshing my thumb. And then it was still too long for in the waistband carry without poking my ribs when I sit down, like in the car and stuff like that. So I took a little bit off the tail end, and I'm very happy with it. Now it's got an appropriately short handle, a little bit shorter than the 4-inch blade. It's about 4. Hey, Edwin, good to have you here, sir. It's about 4 inches on the nose, and then I hand filed some grooves in there. I'm a little ashamed at how wonky they look on camera, but in real life, when you rub some oil in there, they're hard to see. What they're really for is grip. I like to carry this in the 3 o'clock position, straight up, and just kind of pull it out, and you got this knife in your hand. Evening, Chris. Great to have you here. So this was my carry today. It was simple but robust, shall we say. I do enjoy carrying a fixed blade, especially in these cooler months. But as it gets warmer, the Shark, the Steingraber Performance Knives Shark, is an easily carried fixed blade, and it's very light and very, very capable. So I have a feeling that's going to be a good shorts knife. Cool, clear water. So a couple weeks ago, let's see. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Civivi Backlash and a Mazarin Plow in Burgundy micarta. Now, you had me at Burgundy micarta, but I can't think of what a Mazarin Plow is. Sounds like it might be a traditional. Am I on the right path? Let me know. And actually, let me show you what we're giving away tonight before I forget. And that's a good build up to the actual giveaway. Now, it came today. And some of you, like Edwin, may have seen that I threw up I threw up a video on YouTube as quickly as I could just to show it off, just to tempt you all. It is a Kaiser knife, and it's a big one. Passion, pride, performance. So I got the Gigunda XL. What is this? Sheepdog in 154 cm and micarta, natural tan micarta. It's got that blue pivot collar, which I think is quite fetching, and a really nice canvas micarta handle that's nice and grippy. And you can see it's going to patina nicely. I love a nice patina on micarta, as you may have guessed from the last podcast. But really, the star of this knife is that gigantic blade. I mean, look at that thing. It's 4 inches long, and what is it? 2 inches, almost 2 inches broad. Well, 1 3/4 inches at its widest here. And let me assure you, well, the blade stock is thin. Oh yeah, it's thin. But look at that. I mean, it really, really gets thin behind the edge. This is going to be quite a great knife, quite a great performer to whoever gets this. You know, you're not going to be thrusting it too much into anything, but say you have to open up a clamshell package, one of those stubborn, thick plastic packages. That's enough point to get into one of those for sure. And gotta say, you know, I talk a lot about. Good God, I need one of those. Yes, sir, you do. Yes, I think all homes need one of those. Patty, thank you, sir. Oh, wow, check it out in pounds. How cool is that? That's even more generous. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. God, what do you think of this knife? I think if you got rid of that flipper tab, by the way, the action on this is most excellent. Yeah, sheepdog. It is gorgeous. Big, medium, small. I think they're all pretty cool looking. Total cardboard destroyer. I think you're absolutely right. Plus, really comfortable, you know, and you could have some big mitts and grip onto this and work with it for a long time. Perfect food prep grilling knife. And I know Edwin's a big griller. He poses a lot of his knives with beautiful cuts of meat on the grill. Yes, Edwin. Hopefully, well, I shouldn't say that, but this could be yours tonight, sir, if the wheel of destiny is smiling on you. What I was going to say is if you got rid of that flipper tab, it would definitely be a superior kitchen knife because your knuckles would pretty much clear the cutting board, and there would be nothing stopping you from, you know, boy, this really dwarfs my hands. I swear my hands aren't that small, guys. I swear. But really, that's a big-ass blade, man. 4 inches. Look at this. I'll put it down next to the AD-15. Makes it look puny. Look at that. Huge. Anyway, but light and useful. Now I have, you know, like I said, I just got this and I haven't even put it in my pocket. No doubt a pocket hog. But, you know, you're not getting one of these and carrying this thing around for its carrying efficiency. That being said, it's light enough. It'll do till a lighter one gets here. Let's put it that way. And weight of the sheepdog, I don't know. There's a scale over there. And it's telling me 7 ounces, maybe something like that. It feels like a hinderer. That sounds so stupid. Benjamin, yeah, thick this way, not so much this way. Kind of like a tropical fish. Anyway, so this is gonna go to one of the gentleman junkies on the wheel. Now, let me tell you who those people are. I'm very happy, honored, and I'm just happy and honored that you all have joined us over on Patreon, and that you think that we're worth the money and the time, and we appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And this is a small token of our appreciation and a way to give back that's kind of fun and exciting, because who doesn't want to win a knife? So we have Timothy Becker. We have our good old friend Jock over there. On the other side, we have Kevin. Oh, that sounded dark. I didn't mean on the other side. On the other side of the ocean, people. Kevin Seastrom. We have Reed Mertz, Caleb Townsend, Ryan Leitner. We have Edwin Callow, Mike Latham, Jesse Tellis, Mista Fileto, Ezekiel Yates of the Shredder crew. We have Kurt Kromko, John Ladner, Martin Gamboa, Nick Martino, Jason Edwards, and our good friend now, Benjamin Belkin. A lot of these names sound familiar to you, I'm sure. Ryan, you know Ryan Leitner, he's Spirited Blades. You know Edwin Callow, he's Callow PR, our resident GEC and Emerson expert. You know Mike Latham, he owns CollectorKnives.net, bringing you great knives. You know Ezekiel Yates. You know a lot of these guys. Benjamin, a lot of you follow him on Instagram. Well, thank you guys so much. It's very much appreciated. So let's see which one of you is going to get this beautiful, beautiful sheepdog. 154 CM. I was surprised and psyched. I thought it was going to be D2, but 154 CM. I'll take it any day of the week. Okay. Now, let's see here. All right, let's do this, Jim, shall we? All right, we're spinning. We're spinning. It's spinning. It's going. And who is it going to stop? Oh, it goes right by Edwin. Reed Mertz. Reed Mertz. I have to say, Mertz, Reed, I think you won once before, didn't you, sir? This is a lucky man, I'm pretty sure. In any case, man, here it is. This is yours. And I will stop holding it so it does not take on my personal filth signature to quote one of my good, who is that? Advanced Knife Bro. Your personal filth signature does get imprinted into my Carta. I think that's hilarious. So I'm going to stop handling this. I'm going to put it in here. And hey, by the way, Mr. Fileto, if you're watching right now, I have the box that the Wee knife that I sent you goes in. You know, I sent you the pouch and all the guts and stuff, but I forgot to put the pouch in the white box. I'll get that in the mail to you. I just found it over on my shelf of knives coming and going. Incognito Griffin says, does the sheepdog feel uncomfortable in pocket compared to the Vaquero? Sheepdog looks like a big smartphone in pocket. Yeah, you know, compared to the Vaquero Grande, two totally different feels. By the way, this is going to come in and out of your pocket way easier unless you make a modification to your Vaquero. But this is wider. This is broader. The Vaquero is fatter. So I think they're probably about equal when you weigh them all out. Hey, Benjamin, way to go. You guys are so nice, man. You're all giving props to the winner. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Just so happened to have the knife you gave me out and about on the desk today. Hi, Bob and Jim and everyone. Got my USA-made blades half-track Bowie today in battle bronze. Yummy. I got to say, that half-track Bowie blade looks awesome. It is my second favorite, or it's in the running for my top Bowie designs from Hinderer, that and the 24. Look at this, another congrats. That's awesome. Double win, gang. Yeah, Caleb is also a double. Maybe they have weighted dice somehow. Slip joint Joe. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that super chat. That's awesome, man. I don't have any slip joints of note on the table today. I slide in and out of these stages, and right now I'm in a double-edged stage. I really am. I gotta say, like, I just happen to have this out and about. Thinking about the movie Platoon. I don't know, or did it happen the other way around? Who knows? Who knows how this mind works? Anyway, Reed, thank you for your support, and I will have this in the mail to you. I always say tomorrow, but somehow I think it'll probably be Saturday. But I'll get that to you, and I'll get you a tracking number so you can obsess. Now, tonight, I want to talk a little bit about Blade Show. Now, My saying that is funny because I've never been to Blade Show. Last year was going to be my first year. Jim and I were going to go, and naturally we canceled our plans. But now June is rearing its head, or it's right in the offing, and so is Blade Show, June 4th to 6th. And I got to say, like, I obviously I know what time of year it is because I always wait to the last minute to do my taxes. So I'm acutely aware of the date, but I was forgetting about Blade Show, and it's now it's presenting itself to me. Who's going to go? Who has already gone? What has been your experience, and what do you expect it to be? I'm curious. 47 in the lives, only 17 likes. Come on. It's well, I guess the rest are just sitting here. Like, oh, he wore that shirt last week, and his lights aren't as bright as they usually are. And what's with the bags under his eyes? Just kidding. I'll be at Blade. 77 days. Caleb is going to be at Blade. Man, I know what's going to happen between now and Blade. This is what's going to happen. A bunch of cool people like Caleb and others are going to start saying, yeah, I'm going. And I'm going to be like, I think I need to. And then I'll make a last minute decision. And Dr. Stephen Taylor says, if you've never been to Blade Show, you definitely have to go. I agree. I don't even have the money saved up. I mean, I know you have to go with a lot of disposable cash. Alex, not going 22. Yes. That's probably me too. And I got to, I've never even shaken Alex's hand, and I would love to meet all of you in person. Caleb says, this will be my third time. Awesome. Now, Caleb, when you went, did you bring tons of money, and are you planning to do the same this time? Hey, Dirk, how's it going? Never been to Blade. Not sure if I'm going to make it this year, but we shall see. Well, I'd love to meet and shake your hand as well, Dirk. And he's been... Dirk has been putting out videos of the slip joints I sent him, and I like them. I like how you want to like them, and you have an appreciation for them. But it's like you cannot account for what pulls you in, what you're attracted to, or what attracts you to it, and you just can't force it. But I'm happy you appreciate it. And I really like your videos, and it's hilarious to see your giant hands, especially with the little number 6. Like, so funny. I've been liking those videos. It's an addiction. I'd love to go. There were a couple of before that. Sorry, I missed them because I was going off at the mouth. We'll have to see. Yeah. See, for me, it's got to be planned out because I got to do work and got to deal with family and everything like that. Looking for a virtual pass to Blade Show. Yeah, I think you'll find one. No problem. Benjamin Belkin says, I want to go. Scratch that. I am going to go. I like that. I like the all caps. I think he shouted it out. I think he just made that decision as he was typing. He went, I am going. And then he went backspace. No. Caps lock. Am. Rocks Off says, want to, but we'll wait till travel from Canada is cool. I've heard some crazy things about going in and out of Canada, or not going out, but going in. I'm going 2022 for sure. Definitely have to meet up, boys. Yep, for sure. Yep. I hear it's a great time. And of course, just surrounded by knives and cool knife people. We would really like to go to Blade Show West, only a few hours from us. That sounds really cool. That's a relatively new thing, right? This would be is this like the third or fourth year for Blade Show West? Didn't that just start like within the last short period of time? Seriously, you don't go for the knives. I don't take enough money, but I was in college at that time. I got you. Yeah, I didn't take enough money. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine if you're at the right place at the right time, you can get really good deals on very exclusive knives, or really hard to get knives. Tim Simcoe says, debating on it. It's always during my birthday weekend, which is a tough sell for the family. I hear that, man. I hear that. It used to be always on the weekend of a work thing that I was expected to be at every year. And then this past year, a year prior, I said, no. That year I will be at Blade Show. You have a year to figure out other plans. I'm not going. Anyone going to ICCE next week? I will be there. Now, what does ICCE stand for? I keep seeing on people's feeds, and I've been lazy. I haven't even looked into what it stands for. What is it? I will be at Blade Show West this year. Awesome. He also did the Cavs. Excellent. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Have everything reserved, but think most Euro companies can't make it, so I probably can't justify it. Interesting, because you do a lot of stuff with the Italian companies, I know, and was carrying, actually. Don't forget I have those. I should... Why did I? You would have if I didn't remind you. Benjamin Belkin says, International Custom Cutlery Exhibition. That sounds... Yes, that sounds like the place to be, for sure. It's not CBS News anymore. It's the International, the ICCE. So yeah, who is going? I'm interested. Mike Latham of CollectorKnives.net was just saying, with travel restrictions from Europe, it might not be worth his while, considering all the business he does with the European countries, companies, and that's pretty crazy to think about. Because I hadn't thought of that. So it's an interesting consideration, because that is where a lot of foreign companies come to introduce their wares. That and SHOT Show, right? Is SHOT Show happening this year? I forgot to look that up. I know that's more gun and tactical other gear, but there's a huge knife presence at SHOT Show every year, to be sure. So yeah, I would love to go and meet everyone, but I don't think it's going to happen this year, unless there's enough peer pressure, and then I fold, and like a weakling. I will be going to Blade Show West. It's 20 minutes away from my spot. That's awesome. So Alex, are you going with a lot of money in hand, or is this a thing to go shake some hands, get out into the mix again, and see what's coming up? Or are you going to make some investments? Caleb says, you go for the knives, then come back for the friends you make. That is what I keep hearing, and it's no wonder. I just keep meeting cool person after cool person after cool person, right here on Thursday Night Knives and on the interview show. Quack says Monkey Edge is local here, and they have their monkey muster in April. What a cool company Monkey Edge seems to be. I've never bought anything from them, but I love that monkey muster. And last year they did it all virtually, and then I think the year before they had everything on Instagram as it was happening, and I was just drooling, like, man, I wish I was there, seeing all these beautiful exhibitions of all these beautiful knives. I'm planning for the Gathering. All right, that's usually in Las Vegas, right? That's the Usual Suspects Network Gathering. SHOT Show won't be back until 2022, I believe, and that's a winter thing. I think that's January, right? January, February, something like that. Going to hang out. I've got enough knives. Join the conversation. KnifeJunkie.com/join. Alex has enough knives, so I'll have to do it for him. Yeah. Well, okay. So now that we've gotten that nicely in order, let me know if you're going. I want to hear about it. But first, I want to. We have someone who's going to join in. But first, I want to show two knives off real quickly. But one in particular from Dylan Mallory. I just got to show this off because I'm in a fixed blade kick, and I'm trying to work them into my EDC. And this one, I think, could work nicely into my EDC. This is the, what is this? This is from Artisan Cutlery. And I wouldn't call it a ring dagger exactly. I would call it a karambitoid fixed blade. But it's got this great looking, what do you call it? I don't know, protrusion coming off of the ring there. And it reminds me a bit of, what do you call it? Barber scissors, barber shears. And there's a look to it that's just, I don't know. I just think this is a really cool looking knife. That's a 4-inch blade, I believe. Yeah, that's a 4-inch blade. And then you've got the ring. And by the way, the ring is very nicely placed forward of the fist. I hate it when knife makers just plop a ring at the end of the handle. Now, I don't believe you, Alex, says Edwin. Sometimes that is a ring dagger, and you put your thumb through that to give you extra power on a downward reverse grip thrust. First time joining live. Hiya, Bob from Canada. Kevin, great to have you here, sir. I'm just kind of going off at the mouth about a new Mallory design coming out from Artisan Cutlery. It's slim. Look at it. Look at that wicked blade. It looks very useful, but it also looks, defensy and such. But that ring placed forward of the grip is perfect, so that when you grip your hand, you don't have to make any weird accommodations with your wrist to have it protrude right there. What we need is a big Ohio knife show. I agree 100%. I'd move back home. Never enough knives says it's an addiction. Well, with a name like It's an Addiction, yeah, you can't. And take it from me, Knife Junkie. Oh, I get it. We could get a live town hall from the pit. That would be very, very cool. Carambatoid, huh? Yeah, it's actually a word. It is indeed. That barber shear protrusion off of the ring has a couple of purposes, I imagine. I like it, Bob, but never enough knives. Agree, Dave. I mean, you're singing to the choir here. That thing looks like it'd be a great place to rest your thumb if your thumb is tired. Meh, you never know. Right. So that thing looks like a great place to rest your tired thumb. But also, if you're going to use this in any sort of carambatoid way, and you're going to be flipping it, manipulating it, that could arrest the motion. If you're flipping it forward, whoosh, you use that thing to stop and to start and to halt. It looks like a cool feature. Now, without having it in hand, it's impossible to tell if it's actually useful or just a cool little flair. If you hear my chair, I swear to God, it sounds like it's going to collapse underneath me. I hate this chair. Don't just buy things off of Amazon because they're inexpensive. Okay, don't. This chair is just all right. It's frustrating. Okay, so anyway, what do you guys think of this knife? It is something I want to carry. I do want to have something just like that. It also would go nicely with a sea snake. Mike Emler's design. It's also a thin, slicey, stabby, small fixed blade. I'm just really into the fixed blades, and I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm hoping somehow they become more fashionable and people and knife makers take a lot more time with designing small, carryable fixed blades. I'd like it without the ring. Yes. Without the ring would be nice. Yeah. With some sort of slightly flared pommel or something. I agree. Okay, I am going to put this thing away, but wow, it's fun to play with. It's huge. All right. So yeah, that's all I really want to talk about from Mallory. I know I was talking about 2 new knives coming out from him, but to me, that's the real special one. The other one looks kind of like a chef's knife. It looks like you could use it at the camp and campsite and other. But to me, it looks a bit like some of those O-Stop Hell real steel kitchen knives. So it does not excite me as much. So anyway, those are interesting designs. Dylan Mallory he's a youngish up-and-comer. How long is the blade? Sorry if you already said. I believe it's 4 inches, black multicam, which is right in my wheelhouse, or like 3.75. Michael says, closest thing to blade show in Canada is a dude with a table at a flea market. Oh, I think I have the knife he's selling too, but it's over there. I agreed to do a review, and now I'm kind of regretting it because I don't have much positive to say about it. I was just excited to get a free knife from someone. Looks like a knife, and that's a Junkie right there. It looks like a knife being sold at Wish for $18. Looks like a knife being sold at Wish for $18. All right, I'm guessing Wish is like a dollar store or a cheap place. And so you think the Dylan Mallory looks like that? Could be. I don't know. Is it the protrusion off of the hole? Can't spin that blade, but that protrusion makes a nice persuader. Yes, indeed, a noggin knocker. You're 100% correct about the. Oh, can you go back? Sorry, I have to see what I'm 100% correct about, because that's almost never happens. Just ask my wife. You're 100% correct about the forward angle. Okay, yeah. I think so. I mean, I agree that you agree. I'm happy you agree, because I trust your instinct, especially you being a karambit man and quite an experienced one. Low budget basin says, or is that bassin? Oh, it's bassin. See, I like bases, and I was thinking basin. Low, but I see the fish. Okay. Kung Fu fillet knife. Indeed, a Kung Fu fillet knife. It looks like a barber shop. They're about, yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. And yeah, Kung Fu fillet knife. Actually, if low budget bassin, a good one of those is the new Tops fillet knife. I swear to God, it's the most aggressive. Yeah, it's a scary looking fillet knife, but this would be a good close second. Protrusion equals dingleberry for the for those of you like me, aka uneducated folks. I think that's a good. I'm going to start using dingleberry. That's what I'll start using. What's that joke about Klingons and I don't know. Wish is off-brand Amazon for cheap people. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. I'm gonna have to check out Wish, because maybe I have a little bit of that in me too. So we got some mixed views about this, but how do you guys feel in general about the idea of everyday carry fixed blades, or carrying fixed blades in out in urban or suburban environments? I know out in the country and in more rural places, it's easier to do. There's more reason to do it. It's more maybe excusable or makes more sense. But I'm interested in carrying fixed blades in this suburban setting that I live in. And so I'm constantly trying, like lately I've been going with Scout Carry. I've been trying Scout Carry, and it's only been working on my Monkey Thumper, which I carry Scout Carry in the back. And then Bob, let's see. Hey, Bob and Jim, nice to see you, Bob. Arcane interview, man, got me salivating. Bill, I got something from Arcane. I'm going to show it off later. No, it's awesome. I love it. His stuff is so cool. Carrying it like that, carrying it on the front, the shark. But I just want to carry fixed blades and see how it can work into my life. I can't believe that for all of history, we've been able to carry fixed blades until now. It's not fair. But then again, I'm not doing my laundry and waiting for someone to rush up and chop my head off. So yeah, I guess you do pay some fee for modern convenience. Tri-State EDC says, watching Star Trek NG currently. What about Klingons? What about there was a joke. There used to be a joke, and it had to do with dingleberries and Klingons and Uranus, and I just don't remember what the joke was. I don't remember the setup, but it had those three things. Chicago 23, Scout Carry is best for fixed blades. You know what, Chicago, I tend, if you've got a very small knife, I would say, yeah, that's pretty good. I happen to like 45-degree angles in the waistband, kind of around the back. It's good for covering up, and you can sit and be comfortable with it. Hey, Professor, good to have you here. Bob, Jim, hope everyone is doing well. Good evening. Good evening to you, sir. Well, we also have another fan of the I shouldn't call him a fan of the show, contributor of the show, waiting in the wings. We have Benjamin here. What's your hand and Starship Enterprise have in common? What's your hand in the Starship Enterprise have? I don't know. What? Let me know. That sounds good. EDC Tanto, good to see you. Fixed blades are great. It's small. You have a great holster. And so, do you have the new Cold Steel, the small new Cold Steel a fixed blade Tanto? Looks awesome. Jimmy Slash has one, and he did a video recently. Incognito says, my fixed blades are too big for EDC. I only got one small knife, and that's a karambit, and I bought it as a kid in a Glee market. I bet you meant flea market, but that is a good problem to have. all your knives being too big to carry. Here, this one here, the Spartan Blades dagger. This is probably not one you'd want to get caught carrying. They both go circling around Uranus, searching for Klingons. That's the joke. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. So we're all class here. All class. This knife here, you could actually carry in the waistband if you unscrewed these 4 Chicago screws. By the way, Chattanooga Leather Works, oh my God, their sheaths are awesome. But say you unscrew those 4 Chicago screws and remove this back panel here, you have a dagger in a beautiful sheath with a strap. You could put in the waistband carry strap right here and just put this in your waistband. And I mean, it'd be a brazen move. I wouldn't want to get caught carrying this around. It'd be hard to say. You could say, well, it's for cutting flexible air conditioning pipe, right? You could say it's one of those kind of things, but no one's going to believe you. So, Jim, do we have Benny waiting in the wings? Hey, sir, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Not bad at all. Looks like you're getting to us from work there.
Yep, stuck it out at the office. I'm 3 hours behind you now because Arizona does not participate in daylight savings time.
You have an independent spirit. We'll have to do something about that.
Right, they always try.
They always try. Hello, Bob and Jim. Hey, Monster, great to have you here as always, sir. So we were talking about Blade Show. Are you going?
I made a commitment this year to go to some knife shows, so I'm going.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Edwin says, I usually go in cycles, and when I'm into fixed blade funk, I'll carry 4 o'clock, no prob. 4-inch is my preferable in the waistband carry. Yeah, for me, the preferable thing in the waistband is the handle. Handle's got to be a little bit smaller. Just to, accommodate the spare tire or the ribs or whatever, over there on the side. Benny, do you ever carry fixed blade knives?
I've tried it. For me, I carry a firearm a lot, so you only got so much in the waistband you're wanting to deal with. Something small that can fit in my front pocket. I was digging through my little fixed blade stash. This is some Condor knife I bought on Amazon.
Nice.
And it's got a belt loop on it, but you could just simply drop something that small in your pocket. It's not much bigger than the palm of my hand. So for me, it would be front pocket carry on a fixed blade.
Okay, no in the waistband, no incognito carry. How do you feel about neck knives?
I don't know. I don't have anything against them. I've never experienced one, truthfully.
Oh, well, you could take that Condor. I think they make those belt loops too. You could put a piece of paracord and see what that's like. But that's not really a neck knife. That's just a small knife you'd be hanging around your neck. But I like them.
Let me ask you something. When you wear a fixed blade, like I sit down a lot in the day, I'm in and out of my car. Do you find that to be kind of a pain in the butt getting in and out of the car?
No, but that's because of how I carry it and what I'll carry. I've attempted to carry larger knives, but generally a 4-inch blade and a 4-inch or smaller handle tends to do the trick. Though I got here. Hey, Lavender Pants, great to have you here. Late to the party as usual. Those are your words, not mine. This is one that I carry a lot. Now, this one came with a longer handle. I ground down the handle a bit. Took off maybe 3/4 of an inch or so because I like the handle to be small and rounded off. Slacker. Dirk says about Lavender Pants. But this is a good enough time as any to show off something new in my collection that I've been wanting for a long time and been curious about for a long time. Not only because I love Bowies and because this looks like a very carryable Bowie, but I'm also always been very interested in and have a lot of respect for its designer. This is the Street Bowie, designed by Fred Perrin. a former French commando and a current just French badass martial artist and knife maker and knife designer. And this is a real famous and popular Spyderco knife. And it's a fully flat ground 5-inch Bowie knife that you can easily stash in your waist. Really, I think that's how they intended to be. It's balanced perfectly. It's got this great contoured craton handle with these little rubbery inserts that I was concerned about initially catching on my shirt or rubbing funny, but I don't have any of that. And it's jimped, all the jimping you want. And it's just small and light and super capable. And this is a 5-inch blade and a 4-inch handle, and it carries great. In and out of cars, sitting down, no problem with the ribs or anything like that. The only thing I find I have to be careful of with the longer bladed knives in the waistband is the length of the sheaths. Sometimes the most comfortable way to have them when you're sitting down has that sheath really straining against the fabric of your pants, and it's not good for your pants long term. So, you gotta balance. You gotta spin those plates.
So you go in the waistband like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
I go right about 4 o'clock. Yeah. Hey, Patty, how's it going, sir? Yeah, right about here, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Sometimes around to 3, but you can also slide it if you have it on a in the waistband strap. You can slide it around, to 6 o'clock or whatever.
What about that? Ever do the horizontal carry this way?
Yeah, I do with this on my back, but not out and about. That's just at home. But I do have one that's the Steingraber Shark that I wear up front. That's very comfortable. Almost always have a fixed blade. I'm usually in jeans and carry in my boot. That's okay. So this is Mr. Beyond the Beard. Carry it in your boot. I've been looking a lot at daggers recently, and went down a little Gerber dagger from the 80s rabbit hole when they were really going strong with their boot daggers. And it's like a fat leather sheath with a metal clip. Tom Crine makes some excellent options for pocket carry. Yes. Yes, he does. I could see Benny carrying a Tom Crine fixed blade knife.
Crine makes really cool knives. He does regrinds on Great Easterns too.
Oh yeah. But I just wanted to make a comment, and I was looking at those boot knives, and I'm like, God, those look so thick. Who carries a knife in their boot? So I'm curious about you and what you carry in your knife, and I mean in your boot, what kind of knife you carry in your boot, and what kind of boots you're wearing. I'm just curious about that. So Benny, it seems like a Crine fixed blade is right up your alley, and I think I'm going to encourage you to get one because I think it represents a glaring hole in your collection.
Indeed, I brought out a couple fixed blades, but all my stuff's like got some cold steel, got some felt niven, got some more knives, like nothing.
What cold steel do you have?
So what do I got here? I got I bought this one. I don't even know what drew me to it, but I liked it.
Oh yeah.
It just
That's
was
the Ultimate Hunter.
Master Hunter, I think.
Master Hunter.
Master Hunter. I bought this several years ago. It just seemed, I like the full flat grind and the 3V. Yep, 3V.
Lots of belly on that knife.
Yeah, it just felt good. And, when I started buying fixed blades, I would just buy wood and just like work on it. It was like a fun way to relieve stress. Like I had wood chip piles everywhere. So this one performed good in the wood.
Patty, how are you, sir?
Patty,
I'm good.
Hey, it's
How
great.
are you, Bill?
Great. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to see you, but I'm really looking forward to Benny's knife collection.
Oh my God. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been chatting on Instagram.
Yeah, I came on specially to show him a knife that I got today, which I think he would like.
Ooh.
And
all right.
It's a lovely big number. Oh, number 54.
Ooh.
Moose from 2009. Look at that beauty. and it's in orange crush acrylic.
Orange crush. Those slanted bolsters are sweet. I don't think I've seen that.
Just beautiful. Really, really nice. Just
so
got
that slanted morning. With the flutes too, the slanted fluted bolsters and those big double clips, man, that is amazing.
Yeah, they're even pinched as well at the end.
Oh yeah, they sure are.
Boy, the triple treatment. So Patty, where'd you chase this one down?
I got this on a slip joint group over here in the UK, and I got it for a fantastic price. The fair play to the fella, he was really decent. So I'm over the moon that I've got it in the collection now. This is one of them ones that's never going.
So Mike Latham just chimed in. It's called a Bighorn Moose, that one.
Thank you, Mike, because that was going to be my next question to Benny.
I'm glad Mike stepped in on that one.
Bighorn
Mike
Moose.
is the font of all knowledge.
Man.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is, man. So yeah, Benny, do you have any moose in your collection? Any mooses?
Any Mises? I had a Bullwinkle 66 several years ago, and I traded that one away, probably for a 15 would be, if memory serves me correctly. But that was a beautiful knife too.
So Patty, what's your now this is kind of a crass question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's your GEC collection up to numbers wise, would you say?
I traded a couple today actually, but I'm at about 22, 23.
Nice. That's a respectable sub collection.
I'm really trying to keep it down on the 20, but I got this today as another one of my trades for my beard.
Oh, cool.
The Jacko, where the
Urban Jack.
It's silly, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, nice.
I think that makes you a hipster.
Here's one that maybe you and Benny would both like. This is the Taylor's Eyewitness.
Ooh.
Isn't that just a beautiful clip?
Yeah.
That blade profile is excellent. I love the way it kind of peaks up and that big belly on the clip.
Yeah, it's got a really big, I call them my bulbous end, and it's so comfortable in the hand. Oh, wow. It's so comfortable in the hand. Really is a big end on it.
That's beautiful.
Very secure.
So what's the maker of that?
Taylor's Eyewitness.
Taylor's Eyewitness.
Yeah, it's one of the older companies from Sheffield. No, not very old, but one of the older companies. And there's a new father and son have taken it over. And it's really improving. The British knife makers, Taylor's Eyewitness, and what's the other one's gone out of my head? But they really are starting to improve their products now. I mean, the back of this is just
yeah. Look at the file work on that spring. Damn.
And that's all done by hand. I just love the workmanship in these.
Bella Bear 88 says it's great to see you here. Brings a smile to the face. Incognito Griffin says that clipped slip joint is so cute. I love it. That clipped slip joint. So I really just to concur with Benny, I really like the clip point blade shape on that last one you were holding up. It's so broad. It almost looks like it's morphing into a different shape almost.
Yeah, they're a little bit fatter than the American clip.
Yeah, that is cool.
And they really are. And they're so well finished. It's just gorgeous. I've got my sticky fingers all over it, but really, really lovely.
Michael Morgan says, I just ordered a 60s Richards Sheffield knife, cracked ice scout, and a Camillus New York number 67 Stockman online. I love the old Stockmans.
Yeah.
Patty, let's see that bolster.
Sorry?
The bolster. Can you show us the bolster? That's interesting looking too.
The bolster it's got the Taylor's Eyewitness. You can see it on it.
Yeah.
So lovely. The edges off it is just really nice.
It's cool.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's so intricate just for a bolster. really appeals to me.
It reminds
And
me
I mean,
kind of an Art Deco building. You know, the way it's kind of stepped in and.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, these are about £160 to buy, so they're not cheap. But they do a working model, which is lesser materials and cheaper wood for about £36, which is an absolutely fantastic work knife.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go expensive to get the blade shape and all.
So Patty and Benny, the guys Shredder were asking, Shredder knife reviews, blade reviews, were asking if you have any modern slip joints. I have a couple out of reach that you know all about, the Benchmade proper, and then I have a Medford, which is in the mail at the moment. But what about you guys? And what do you think of modern slip joints?
They can go ahead, Patty.
No, go on, Matt. No.
They come in a variety of flavors. You know, some I like more than others. I like things that adhere to the traditional style. I love the use of modern materials. When a knife looks extremely modern and doesn't give me any kind of vibes from a slip joint of old, yet it just has the mechanism, that's not so much for me. But I get why people like them.
Yeah.
You know, I showed these on the show before, but here's a good example of a modern slip joint. This is a custom Pena Barlow. No, focus. See that all right?
Yeah. That thing is gorgeous. That is just absolutely gorgeous with that jigging in the titanium and the full faux bolster.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah, gorgeous. Yes. Yeah. So Patty's got the Gitano there.
The clip on this just excites me like it shouldn't.
that whole knife excites me like it shouldn't. It looks like a little navaja, like a small version of the old fighting knife from Spain. You know.
So this type of modern, especially Mike Latham, his modern knives are just fantastic, and I think I've gone through most of them. But here's another one. This is a little one that I sort of quite like. That's very modern, and this is the Quiet Carry. And it's just a small little slip joint. It's like a razor blade.
Wow.
There's nothing to it. It just slices anything. And it's a tough blade. You know, it's only, I think it's D2 on it. It's D2, but I use it for clips and everything, and it just zips through.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a little scalpel. Like even the blade is almost scalpel shaped. And what's that? Is that an Oser? What is that?
This is another Pena.
Oh, Pena.
This is a Mini Zulu.
Penas are just beautiful.
Professor EDC says, I love the Gitano and what Lion Steel is doing. Yes, and I do too. Shredder loves that quiet carry. That's cool. I'm sorry, Patty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I think Mike Latham has to give a lot of. He has really pushed this sort of knife being made, and he's bringing it to everybody. And I sometimes people don't get enough credit for the work that they put into getting these new modern knives they look authentic, nearly as a traditional knife.
I agree. Actually, I have two knives he designed right over there. I'm going to grab them because they are modern traditionals.
Oh, that clip is beautiful.
Yeah. You like that?
That's a Pena as well, is it?
Correct. And this is his interpretation of a Lanny's clip.
Do you know, it actually reminds me of the front of a ship. It's just beautiful.
Got it.
Yeah, I see
it's like
that.
the bows of a ship.
I love that Lanny's clip shape.
It's thicker blade stock too.
Uh-huh.
And these hollow
really nice.
Bananas.
So this is a Mike Latham knife that he's doing with Fox. And I don't think it's out yet, but I have to check. Actually, Mike can chime in. It's this beautiful gun stock jack with a gorgeous clip point. What was that?
I will definitely be getting that.
Yeah, and it's got the beautiful. I love how the Italians seem to do this crowned spine a lot.
Yeah.
It's got this gorgeous micarta that is that thick weave canvas, so it's got some very nice texture for a little knife you want to be able to move it and know that it's in hand confidently, and it's M390. Another good choice for a small knife. You could get this knife and never really actually ever need to sharpen it. If you're using it for the kind of things you use a small knife like this for.
Are you saying we don't use our knives?
Okay, I guess I should say me. There's no.
I opened 3 letters this morning.
So I was just talking to someone who you'll see his interview coming up. It's Joseph Vero from Vero Engineering, and he said something really funny about naming a knife. He was saying it in jest, but naming a knife the APO, the Amazon Package Opener. that was
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Hey, can you put up Mike Latham's comment again to Patty? I didn't get to read it all out there.
I didn't see that.
Thank you, Jim. And while you do, I'll show this off. This is another. Okay, Mike says, "Very honored, Patty. Many thanks for the kind words." Well,
they're genuine words.
So look at this one, Patty. I don't know if you've seen this.
That's crazy.
This is his
swing guard
version of a swing guard knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's produced by Lion Steel. And the cool thing about this is every swing guard knife I've ever experienced, switchblade or not, has play in the guard. And this has 0 play in the guard.
Nice.
Again,
Go ahead. I'll have to be honest. They're really not my thing. That one, it's not something I've never seen one in real life. But I'm not too keen on that cross guard.
No. Yeah. I think Case called it. Their model was called the Cheetah, so they're frequently referred to as cheetahs. But I think it's like calling a cheese puff a Cheeto or a tissue a Kleenex. But. Yeah, but just whether or not this is your can of worms, the interesting thing about it is that Mike Latham designed it and went to a preeminent knife maker in Italy, and they worked on it, and they're just doing, like you said, just unique stuff that no one else is doing. No one else out there is trying to perfect and make a modern swing guard knife, with these modern materials.
Beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Bob. I appreciate the workmanship that goes into making something that's solid and not working. It's just not a model that I would go for.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. What's that? Oh, what is that?
A lovely.
I think you can make the case. This is a modern, also, right? It's got jigged micarta. It's got a
blade.
It's like a sheep's foot because it's not sharp.
Yeah.
Toxic green liners, if we can get those to show.
Jeez, that is gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful.
And screw construction.
Did you say that's micarta handle?
Yes, sir. Jig micarta.
Jeez.
It looks like bone from here. It's beautiful.
Come on, focus.
Beautiful. Who makes that?
This is a Pena. You can see I'm biased by now.
I just love how that main bevel widens from the sharpening choil to the tip of that.
Right.
That is just such a rad looking design.
Right there. Yeah.
So
you really got an eye for those grinds,
Monster says,
Bob,
Mike.
I seen you with a traditional this week. That dagger, very traditional.
Yes. The. I just so happen to have it right here. This is this is a Randall. This one, is this what you're talking about?
No, I was talking to the
Yeah.
I'd seen it on one of your videos. I'd watched the video where you interviewed the maker.
This one right here.
I don't even like daggers, but I love that.
This is audacious. This thing is so. Oh God, this thing is so beautiful. I love daggers. First of all, but second of all, I'm totally fascinated by the concept of a folding dagger, just because of all of the design issues it presents.
Yeah.
Symmetry versus having a handle that's big enough to accommodate the blade versus trying to get the, just whatever the design issues are. All of that, yes, but I just love a double-edged knife, and this thing is just so sweet.
It is beautiful, but I'm thick enough that I'll probably put my thumb over the top on the blade.
Yeah. It's. I've gotten used to it with my right hand. I'll just go like this and just swing it shut. But with my left hand, like I do for this show, I don't know, man. That's why I got to reach across. But yeah,
it's beautiful looking, though.
Thank you. I say thank you like I designed it. I curated it. I liberated it from its home. Yeah. So, hey, do you guys know Bastinelli knives at all?
Yes. Yeah.
So a good friend of mine.
On Instagram.
Oh yeah. So he's a French guy, Bastien Coves. He lives in Florida, I believe, and he designs beautiful tactical knives. So his whole thing is making these incredibly graceful. So anyway, I borrowed two from a friend of mine, and I just want to show them off before I have to give them back. But check this thing out.
Ooh, yeah.
This is called the PY. It's called the PY, which stands for Protect Yourself. And it's a design collaboration with a Belgian Sealot guy, a really he's one of the world's top bodyguards, and his name is Fred Mastro, just professional badass. But this is his design with Bastien Coves, and a friend of mine loaned it to me, and it's just, this is a prime example of something Alex Steingraber says, and it's sort of his company's tagline, but geometry cuts. This blade is thin, and it's ground so thinly that you pretty much don't even need to put an edge on it, and it's going to pierce and it's going to cut.
I expect to see somebody coming out through bamboo with that in their hand and the marks on their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Damn junkies, says Stephen Bush. Yeah, I Patty, I don't think such knives are as easy to get over where you are. What
would be pointless because they're illegal and you couldn't carry them. I couldn't say that was a camping knife if it was caught in the woods.
Right.
It's not going to wash.
Professor EDC says, Bob, is there a knife in the whole world you dislike? A bit, just a wee bit? No. It's funny because my daughter's like, what do you have against butter knives? And that's like, I don't have anything against butter knives. Just don't use them as screwdrivers. That's all. Black Multicam says, I need more Bastinellis in my collection. All right. So, okay, you convinced me. Let me show you the other one.
Yeah, I like that last one.
This thing is beautiful. This is called the Separateur, which I can only imagine is French for separator, I guess.
Off with his head.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a modern tactical, so this is a modern and more practical version of the Southern Filipino gununting sword. It's got that sickle shape. Here,
wow. How long is that blade? That thing is sweet, man.
It's like this. It's a 13-inch blade.
Crap.
So
it's like you could chop someone's leg off with that thing.
Yeah. So it's a takeoff of this. Not a takeoff, but a modern redesign of this. And it is very, very thin and super light, which, is hard, it's unexpected from such a large knife, but it's very thin. I mean, it's like blade stock is like, I don't know, it's like the blade stock of a Delica or something. It's very thin. So,
tell me this. Bob, I have enough trouble storing all my little tiny knives. Where do you keep all these knives?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have to worry about this with this one because it has to go back to its owner. But you know what, Patty, I'm lucky enough to have a small man cave where I am right now, and in this man cave, I have a big tool chest. I keep them in a tool chest, and they're all nicely and neatly laid out. And I take care of them. I talk to them like plants. Just kidding.
Unfortunately, I cut myself in front of my wife in the living room, so I'm beating the word go.
So you have a cool wooden case that you keep your stuff in. I've seen, right?
Yeah, they're a sort of generic, sort of I don't know, like a painter's case, or they're always small drawers in it. But sadly, it overflows into about 3 or 4 other boxes too. But, I am trying really hard to cut down my collection, especially of modern knives, because I'm not using them as much now.
Mm-hmm.
I've really taken that leap into traditional knives that's got me in a terrible state.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to show this knife. This is a modern, my favorite modern knife. Yeah. This is from Herman Knives in Poland. And this is just, I can't tell you how nice this is. If I can show you the design of this knife.
Wow.
It's like a sunburst. Beautiful. I'm not getting the grip, but it's like a sunburst pattern. And it's just, the action on this knife is just beyond drop shot. It's just beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
But I don't hear much of him over in the States. I think Alex has had one of his knives. These are, I think it's more of a CNC sort of a thing, but quite expensive knives now, I'll have to say. But they actually sent me this one. I couldn't believe they would send a small channel. Yeah, it's about it's £600 to buy over here. So, but for to send a wee small channel like me, I thought was really, that was Polish custom knives.
They have man, that's so cool.
Individual makers.
Hey,
so I thought I'd give them a plug.
Oh yeah, let's plug further. Hold up that knife. I'd like to see both sides of it, Jim. If you'd go wide, thank you. So looks like under the clip, they interrupt the milling and have a sort of free spot underneath the entire clip. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, your screws to the back spacers are underneath the clip.
Okay, that's clever.
Can you see it?
Yeah, so that way you don't see them.
What I like about it, it's actually milled a different, finer pattern underneath the clip where you can't even see it, but they went ahead and milled it, which just says a whole lot about the maker.
Yeah, God.
It looks to me, do you know them Russian knives? That
Shiroguro. It looks like a Shiroguro.
Yeah, it looks very like it, and it has that same action. But the blade geometry on this is just, I cut carpets with it. You know, hardback carpets and sliced them, and it went through it like butter. Absolute butter.
See, that to me is the paradox, is that a knife like that beautiful, expensive Herman, it's Herman, right?
Herman knife, yeah.
Herman knife is one of the most, capable for doing that kind of job, but it's got to be hard to bring yourself to doing that job with that knife. But it's I like how you think. I'm slightly less adventurous with it, but I feel like I've been seeing that knife on Instagram a bit. I've been seeing that, or maybe it's just because I'm subscribed to Polish custom knives, but.
Yeah, I put it on. Yeah, he puts some of his really high-end models that have got all that fancy metalwork, and I don't even know what it's called. That's how up to date I am. I can't think what they call it. You know, all that fancy anodized and all on their knives. Some of them are just now. I wouldn't cut carpet with something like that.
Right. What? Hey, Benny, this SRK you have, is that the San Mai version?
San Mai.
Yeah, I think I can see the line. That's gorgeous. Yeah. And it's hollow ground. Holy mackerel.
Ground. It's the only one that was hollow ground, at least when I bought it. And they didn't even advertise it as such, but when I got it, pleasantly surprised.
Well, there was a period of time after Nut and Fancy talked about how everything had to be full flat ground, that people didn't want hollow ground knives. I'm sitting here blaming Nut and Fancy. I don't know what the cause was, but I know for a while hollow ground knives were sort of, I don't know, people look down their nose at them like they weren't tough enough. But man, I love that, and I like this SRK right here.
It's just like a fun knife to own. You know, it's like a kind of stereotypical survival knife. I love it.
Yeah, and it just looks nice with that with the Sanmai and the satin finish on there.
The first time I used a hollow grind knife and how nice it slides through material, I was sold.
Yeah. Sometimes so I don't have it. It's over there, but I have the Medford Praetorian. You know, that giant, kind of goofy, almost looking Tanto blade, and you look at it, and the blade is this wide, and then the bevel it's a little hollow ground bevel. It's like this small, and you're thinking like, how is that going to be sharp? But somehow they get that giant slab of metal so extremely sharp, and it's done with a hollow grind. But I would imagine that if you're cutting through something like cardboard, you're hitting the shoulder of that grind, which is so abrupt. And it's not going to be, even though it's sharp at the very surface, it's not going to be fun to push through acres of cardboard.
Did you ever watch him do the grinding of the hollow grinds?
I don't think I did. I don't think I have.
Oh, that is a video you have to see, because he is so talented. The way he takes it up around the corner, there's not many people can do that just by hand, freehand.
Yeah.
And it's to watch him doing it, he makes it look as if it's an easy job. And like, we know it's how difficult it is.
Yeah. He's like, his knives are one of the few that I've seen where the grinder lines follow the contour. Yeah. And they
Very
radiate.
few people do it now. Very few.
Look at this.
I would love it. I would like a kukri now, I have to say.
Yeah. That's a nice one. That's the Cold Steel, and I think they have the Bando logo on it. Bando is the official martial art of the kukri, or it is an official martial art of the kukri. I don't know if it's what the Gurkhas themselves use, but
they call this one the Gurkha kukri. It's in 01.
01. Yeah, the guys over at Shredder love that. They'd love to chop something up with that for sure, man. God, look at that.
No, it's not like the one you get from where they come from, like Burma or whatever country they come from. But I saw this and I just had to have it. Nepal, thank you, Burma.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about. And this is the second one I had. I think I broke the first one, like really abusing it bad. Mm-hmm. But when you whack this thing into lumber or a tree trunk or something, it just bites so freaking hard.
Yeah.
Like harder than any Bowie knife or any, you know what I mean? Like bottom line, this curve and this mass, you sink it in, it
careful with your computer, hard. Man.
Oh shit.
Hey, Jim, could you put up the last comment? He was saying, Black Multicam was saying Cold Steel Kukri, the one that got away. I never bought one that when they were in rotation and available. That sucks, Black Multicam. I've been through that a bunch of times with them, especially because I always thought, they've been around forever. They have a million things. I never dreamed that some of the things I wanted would go out of production, and then it does, and you're like, well, who else is making a 5.5 scimitar shaped folder? Shit. I should have gotten it when I had the chance. Monster says perfect for the zombie apocalypse. Indeed. And
I'm starting to change my opinion of you.
What is that? That's a BK16?
BK9. This one's
BK9. Big
From
Bowie.
A 3-inch folding knife to that.
Yeah. I went through this phase, and sad to say, these sit in the drawer most of the time. I don't enjoy them enough, and all this fixed blade talk, made me bring them out and enjoy them again, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. What? Go ahead, Patty.
Go ahead. I used to have a bushcraft channel. I used to do bushcraft. I used to go out in wild camp, before I got into knives properly. So I was used to I didn't take any fancy knives. I took a kitchen cleaver and a Mora, And that's what I went bushcrafting with before I ever really got into it. And I'm sort of nearly glad now that I got out of bushcraft and then into knives. Because if I hadn't have done, I'd have had a fixed blade collection to fill the other side of my room up.
Yeah, but sometimes wait, hang on. Max says Microtech makes some great fixed blade knives too. I have three: the Arbiter, the SBD dagger, and the SOCOM. The SOCOM is cool. The Arbiter, I can't think of what that is, and then I can't think of what that is. And the SBD, is that the spiraling dagger? That thing is crazy. Now you're talking our language, they say. So with the what I was going to say is I know that this huge. Hey, Dillip, good to have you here, sir. Yeah, I got one right here. Keep it on my desk. But I know that in this
always been small.
In this current incarnation of the knife industry, people are really, really, really into folders because they're pocketable. You can carry them. Patty, do you sleep all day? Says Mike. But it's curious to me, like, do people who love folders and who are all about folders, do they also have a love of fixed blades? They just haven't gotten into them yet, or because I feel like all of this has happened simultaneously for me. It was like it's always been swords, folders, fixed blades, and all of them all together at once.
I think depending on your lifestyle, some of us don't have as much opportunity to enjoy the fixed blades like you do the folders. You know, you can take the folder to work, you have it in your pocket, you can open and close it in the car.
Right.
You know, the fixed blade, not so much. Now, if you're an outdoorsman type and you get out a lot, then maybe you get to play with your hungless more often.
Yeah.
That's about as long a knife as I take out. That's my 71. I was in the woods today with my grandchildren, and I put it's funny, everybody talks about what do you do with kids. We babysit grandkids a lot. And I took two of them down into the woods today. I sharpened the stick and told him it was a spear. And that wee boy, he's 9. He ran about quite happily having a spear. And all you need is a wee knife to put a point on it. But I mean, if you didn't have a knife, you can't do things like that. And that's why I love carrying a knife, for simple things.
And that is such a great knife, the 71.
It's the first time I've used it in wood today. I know it is beautiful, and it's dropped straight back up again.
Oh yeah, beautiful. That 1095. Bella Bear says have had 30 or so Himalayan import kukris. That's the name we were trying to remember, Benny. Through my hands since the early 2000s. Nothing beats a kukri for a big blade, or just could be my love of them. I mean, they really are. Hey, tell me what you think of. Where is it? Oh, dag nabbit. I don't have it here. I thought I pulled it out. Oh, here it is. So, Bella, do you like all incarnations of do you like this kukri? You know, the folding variety. I personally love this. Think it's super cool. But I too love the kukri. And I remember my brother and I had a book of weapons that we used to obsess over when we were kids. And I remember seeing the kukri and being like, ugh, like, what is that? Ugh. You know, not quite understanding it. And then as I grew into a man, you know, I really, really grew to love and appreciate the kukris. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. The Arbiter is the big recurve with the sharpened swedge. Oh, yes. Yes, it'll give Rambo's knife a run for its money. Yeah, that is a beaut. I've seen some of those mirror polished.
F1, is it? Or
F1, Feltneven. Did I say that right? Feltneven?
Yeah, Feltneven, yeah. Feltneven.
Yeah. So this one really surprised me. Its usability, its size. I love convex grinds on fixed blades.
Oh, yes.
But this one is like convex but thin behind the edge. This thing just cuts, man. This thing cuts everything, and it seems like it never wants to get dull. And you just put it over a strop a little bit, and your hair popping sharp. The lanyard loop is or ring is under my hand, which is a little odd, right? That you put that there. But I'm a huge fan of this for a fixed blade that you can carry around relatively easily that will just perform.
I think that's Sanmai too, isn't it?
It is. It's laminated steel. I don't know if they call it Sanmai unless that just means laminated steel.
Black Multicam, yeah, we did do a pocket check, but we didn't hear from you. So tell us what you're carrying today. Hey, Patty, what are you carrying today?
I carried my 71 today.
You're 71. That's what you took out. And you actually used it in wood. Anyone into hatchets?
I have about 6 hatchets.
I have a friend of mine gave me who's an axe nerd gave me a Helkowerk hatchet that's really cool. I haven't done anything with it. Still has the leather on. It still has whatever the working edge is. It's beautiful, and I plan to not touch it. Plan to leave it. Oh, a Spyderco military. Very nice.
Lefty.
Oh, very nice. Hey, Brian, how's it going, sir?
Hey, guys.
Hello, Brian.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. What were you carrying today, Brian?
Well, today I had my new TRM Neutron. It's the second kind. You know how they redid the Neutron so it has liners on the inside rather than flat against? I don't know what the term is. Inset liners, I think that's the term.
Nested? Oh, yeah.
Nested. Yeah, so this thing is really awesome. I really love how thin it is. Like in the pocket, it's just ridiculously thin. Mm-hmm. And the grind is really nice and thin too. So it's kind of like a knife where they really just make it for cutting. And that's
beautiful. Beautiful. What was that fixed blade I saw?
Yeah, something I wanted to show you. I thought you might find kind of neat. This is a discontinued Benchmade machete. They called it the Jungle Machete. It's $10.95. And yeah, I think it's pretty basic. Not really typical for Benchmade.
Yeah, I remember this knife. Cool. I remember when this came out. This was it. Maybe 5 in the last 10 years. Maybe this came out.
Yeah, and there was also a cool Filipino version. It was like more of a bolo. It had a recurve, whereas this one is pretty much just a flat and then a little bit of curve at the end.
Yeah,
the Filipino version was really cool. I can't find one of those anymore.
What's the handle made out of?
I think it's rubber. I don't really know what exactly to call it. It's not grivery, It's not like that. It's not the stuff a Griptilian is made out of. It's got a little more give. It's kind of like a Falkneven,
Right.
I think Benny knows.
Yeah, I think here's another one. This one's.
Bob, I'm going to head on now. Thank you very much for having me on.
Patty,
thank you to everybody else. Give a bit of space.
Okay, Patty, it was a pleasure, sir. Have a good one, man.
Care.
Nice to meet
Bye-bye,
you.
See ya.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.
And yeah, if I could just show off one more cool thing I was carrying today.
Yeah.
You ever hear of Manly knives? They're from Bulgaria.
Out of Bulgaria, yeah.
So they got this new one here that's called the Manly City, and it's pretty much a native. It's kind of like a little bit bigger than a native. It's got a thumb stud on it rather than a hole. But
yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of like a native if they changed a bunch of stuff. So it's a little bit more for a knife enthusiast. So it's got like a really thin grind, S90V, contoured scales. And I got it to get to me in the US from Germany in about a month. So it takes a long time, but it's pretty cheap. It's $100 for S90V.
Well, I know that Manly was distributing in this country for maybe 2 years or so. And then they kind of got rid of Manly USA and became a kind of a Bulgarian knife makers collective. And so I'm excited to see this knife and to see that Manly knives have made it out of Bulgaria again. Because
I think they fixed whatever their issue was, and they're pretty much back now.
Okay, good. The blade of that looks very cool too. Reminds me almost a little bit of a Strider.
Yeah, something funny I noticed too is that it looks a lot like the Neutron. Like I feel like some of these slicing oriented knives, they're sort of converging on a certain blade shape. Very similar.
Yeah. Benny, was that another Falkneven?
Yeah, this is like they go small, medium, large, extra large. I guess this is medium.
That's
S1. They call it the forest knife.
Beautiful clip point. Love
Yeah,
that.
right. They I feel like as each one gets bigger in size, they also use thicker stock.
Yeah.
And I think these are Swedish designed and Japanese manufactured.
Oh, they are? Okay. For
Yeah.
some reason, I thought they were made in Sweden, too.
They give the allure that they are. I think if you dig a little deeper, you find out that they're not,
Yeah.
So, guys, we're coming up on our knife fight. Can I get the two of you to debate?
Sure.
All right, because I got you right here, man. I'll announce what it is, and then we'll give it a minute, and then we'll go into it. But tonight we're going to do Hawkbill versus Persian. You see what I did there? Hawkbill versus Persian. So we'll figure out who defends what, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to see this blade that Benny was holding up.
So this
that's Buko.
Yeah, that's a Spyderco collaboration with a Finnish knife maker whose name I can't remember.
Cool.
I just really got into convict, or what do you call them? Scandi grinds. Once I actually got my hands on one and started putting it through wood, and I just saw how it parts that wood.
Oh, dude.
Like really nothing else. So I thought that was cool. And the ergonomics of these are exceptional.
Yeah, and they're so simple and neutral, but
So simple. But simple is good, right? Like, we probably evolved holding sticks.
The interesting thing, talking about the Scandi blade being great for cutting wood. When we had Ed Calderon on the show, and he was talking about tactical knives, and he's got some experience with this kind of thing. He was talking about how great Moras are as tactical knives. He loves the Scandi edge, and those knives they're built to grip, and they might not be as scary as some marketed for tactical knives, but he was saying that they make exceptional. If that's what you need a knife for, you need not look further than a Mora, unless you just want something cooler, like say for instance the Fred Perrin design Street Bowie.
Way cooler.
Brian, what is the name of that Manly again, please?
The City, City, which doesn't make much sense because I think it's more of an outdoors knife.
Yeah, can't carry it in the city because it's got a locking blade.
Yeah.
You ever see one of these?
Oh, that's a Higo no Kuri. What are those
Higo
called?
no Kami?
Higo no Kami.
Yeah, they use like Hitachi steels, like white steel and stuff.
That is cool.
Friction folder.
And then so that the tab is flat, so you can put your thumb on it, right?
Right, and then when you're using it, you can keep your thumb on it, to keep it open.
I have a cool Japanese gardening knife that is cool. That's not here, but it's interesting, and it's just you can tell it's used in a different sort of way. I think it's built so you can dig with it, and man, I've ruined a couple of knives doing that.
What's the blade shape like where you can dig with it? How's it different?
It's not like I have seen those Japanese gardening blades that almost look like really wide, either thin trowels or very wide double-edged blades with serrations. Oh. This isn't one of them. This is like a clip point. It looks like a clip point, but it's really, really stout, and it's got a working edge. And I sharpened it and got a thicker edge on it, but it's definitely for thicker vegetation. Or I got a thinner edge on it, but it's definitely for thicker vegetation. And I have to think digging. I think some digging must happen with this knife because it looks like it could take it. And it was described and sold to me as a gardening knife. So I don't know. You could use it for anything. So let's do this Hawkbill versus Persian, guys. It's knife fight time.
So real quick,
we're going to tie your wrists together.
I don't know anything about a Persian knife. Like, I know that it's curved opposite of a Hawkbill. Is that what I need to know about it?
That's exactly
it. I know what I'm talking about.
That's exactly all you need to know. Okay.
You'll take Persian? All right, cool. Real quick, can I do one more? This is a AK bayonet from Romania. There's the triangle there. Didn't know if you guys have seen one of those before, but it's the last one on the table. I got to show you.
Now, I'm not sure where mine is from, but my brother got me one several years back, and I love it. And the if you know Emerson knives, the first frame lock he ever made. I think it was the CQC 12. Edwin, correct me if I'm wrong, but he based that Bowie blade on the clip point shape of this particular knife here.
I did not know that.
Which I think is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so let's do this. This is Hawkbill versus Persian. Benny is representing Hawkbill, and since Brian so gallantly chose Persian, we will let him choose whether he goes first or second. Would you like to go first or second, sir?
Let me start off. I'll set the stage here.
Okay, so we're gonna do a minute 15. 1 minute 15. We find that a minute and a half is too long. 1 minute isn't long enough. A minute 15. All right.
Actually, I'm trying to find if I have any trailing edges to work with here. I might just have to talk about it.
Oh, how about that?
No, I don't think so. Everything's a drop point at the best. So,
Nice.
oh well.
Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Starting in 5 seconds. Gotta get this right. Okay, go.
Okay, so I would argue that when it comes to the Persian, it's all about the tip control. Specifically, at least compared to a Hawkbill, you always know where your tip is, and that you can really take advantage of that. So, for example, if you are skinning something that you might use a clip point to do, you can instead go with a Persian, and it would probably still serve you pretty well because you can make sure that as long as your finger is pretty close to the tip, you know where the tip is. In addition, I think there's lots of belly on your typical Persian. And I think that there's a lot of stuff that you can really do with that. Lots of slicing is made way easier. I know with a Hawkbill, if you can imagine trying to slice through, let's say, food, not going to work so well for you, right? Not going to be very accurate at the very least. And also when it comes to food prep, for the same reason, if you want to do food prep, you got to know where your tip is. So I think that the biggest advantages for the Persian, at least compared to the Hawkbill, are going to be you got plenty of belly, and there's lots of use to having plenty of belly, and then tip control, which for a Hawkbill really is the primary. Go ahead.
Beautiful. You came in right at a minute 15. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a sandbagger. He's like, what's a debate? I've never done this before. Boom, minute 15. All right, so tip control is what I'm getting. Tip placement, tip control, and accuracy. All right, Benny, you got your work cut out for you. Are you ready?
Ready, Freddie.
5 seconds. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Your minute 15 starts now.
Right, so the Hawkbill, what is it named after? One of the most ferocious, vicious, and efficient predators in the world, the hawk. The Hawkbill mirrors a hawk's claws. And why? Because that hooked tip on the Hawkbill will sink into meat and not let go. You, with thrusting force of your hand, you're going to shred tissue, disembowel your victim, and perhaps tear through their bones. So if you want a blade that's going to absolutely devastate your enemy, go for the Hawkbill.
Wow, Benny, I think you're pissed you're still at work, man.
So pissed.
That's funny. All right. So we got Persian. The Persian, we get good tip control, and that's something that you need for all sorts of tasks. Chief among them, as you said, Brian, food prep. You got to know where that tip is. While on the other hand, the Hawkbill has devastating and disemboweling power that perhaps the Persian does not. I love just this is a side note. I love both blades, and because both of them carry a lot of. You look at them and they mean business, and you can tell whether you know exactly why or not. I don't know. You can just tell. The Hawkbill to me just looks entrapping. It looks like menacing, like it's gonna pull you in, and the Persian looks like it's gonna ride by and chop your head off. So yeah, both are pretty good, and I think you both did a pretty good job representing them.
Thank you.
Good dueling you.
My pleasure. So guys, what do you think as we wrap up? Let us know who won this debate. I mean, in a time, in these difficult times, as we all are so fond of saying, we need to I think Benny's saying Brian won.
Brian beat me. I don't know much about a Hawkbill except you can use it to mess someone up. What else do people use them for? Like pruning, maybe? What else? Do you
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
gardening.
your delivery matches your rhetoric. I think you did a good job there.
Not a Persian fan, but got to give it to the Persian. So I always thought a Hawkbill knife would be great for, and now we're not in my lane at all. But it seems like a Hawkbill knife would be good for sailing or some situation where you might need to be cutting, like reaching out, grabbing, pulling a rope towards you and cutting it. Seems like that might be something. Chris says both great blade shapes and arguments, but going with Hawkbill for utility and cutting floor tile. Okay, so floor tile doesn't have to be just suckers. Black Multicam says definitely a tie, and I would say you are definitely a diplomat, sir. Mark Herrera says nobody lost. You know what? That's true. We all you win or you learn. You don't lose or something. I don't know. Persian for sure, says Caleb. Persian for sure. I argument wise, I think I have to give it to Brian because I feel like it was a little bit more complete. But I have to say that Benny did tap in on the main appeal, I think, of a Hawkbill. Caleb says good night. Caleb, good night to you, sir. And well, I think this is a good time for us all to say goodnight. It being 11:30. Coming up this Sunday, be sure to check in with us on the interview show. We talked to Joseph Vero of Vero Engineering. What a cool guy, making such beautiful knives. I love what he's designing. And after watching that interview that I did, after having that interview, it got me very excited about getting something of his in hand. And I know they're not easy to get. So, yay, just another knife that I have to go out and try and find. Red Dawn says, Hawkbill is life for self-defense. Dig it. I hear you. I agree. It's where you want to be. All right, Benny, Brian, thank you both so much for coming on and joining me tonight. It's been awesome as always. You know where we'll be next week. That's right here. So join us again. And all of you out there watching us, thanks, and join us here again. And like I said, Sunday we have Joseph Vero of Vero Engineering. And then next Wednesday we have the supplemental. And then next Thursday Night Knives. And it just keeps going over and over. Knife content coming your way. All right. So for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying have a wonderful week. And no matter what happens, don't take dull for an answer.